for a woman young enough to have children because I don't have children and I want to be a dad. So I'll give you everything if you give me everything. Couldn't even get to that point. But I could have that conversation with a woman in the Philippines like I had with Jayan, and she would say, okay, tell me more.
It's just like that. Just like that. They're already interested. There's no fight. There's no squabbles about my career or anything like that. Sounds like a good deal to me. Well, anywho, I am Black Irish. Welcome to the
It's the hottest buzzword in American dating and marriage culture right now. In this video, you'll hear the truth about passport bros from all the relevant sides, directly from the horse's own mouth. And also, I will show you why some American women are especially triggered by this trend, and what exactly are the
I really hate the word trigger, but it's very true. They are extremely triggered by this.
arguments. But first off, what is a passport bro and why are bros taking out their passport in the first place?
Put it simply, a passport bro is a term used to describe a Western man who leaves their country in order to find a woman from a non-Western country. There's many reasons they do this. Some can't find a partner in their own countries, some are seeking more traditional relationships, and some just have a preference for foreign women. It's a controversial topic because a lot of Western women believe that it's exploitation. Now, exploitation does happen, but this is a bad overgeneralization.
Only time that any woman says anything like this is because they're jealous that the resources are going elsewhere, except into their pocket.
And the reason it's bad is because it insinuates that all women from these countries are either desperate, uneducated, or deceitful, which is just not true.
Which also proves that a lot of Western women, even with all their degrees and their high-paying jobs, they have no idea what the other side of the world is actually like.
So how do American women feel about these passport bros? Well, they are coming in with some heat, but it looks like passport bros and their foreign women are ready for them. This is very interesting.
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia,
Yes.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that need them.
Mind you, a lot of the people here speak Ebonics and broken English, but we're going to talk about them.
Women that need
Women
them.
are raised to be wives.
So let me correct this. The Philippines rank 18 out of 112 countries in the world in English proficiency. So yes, they are pretty good when it comes to English.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
Yeah, they know. That's why they left.
No,
Why? I want to be married.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas
If
to find
men are
husbands?
traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood, for their...
Partially correct. No man wants a woman that doesn't need them. It's worked for many years. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far.
resources to have a good life, and I don't think that that is a good thing.
Well, thankfully, no one cares what you think. That's why you're single.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
Do you have any proof of this? With or is it like a note hidden under your bangs, the cover of your huge forehead, full of lies? Like I said, they never can say anything positive unless it's towards them. Just say it. They're not choosing us, and I'm pissed off. I will respect you if you at least be honest.
Men who like to go overseas to find a partner is men.
And let's just want to drop this one off as well. Do you see like a pattern that all the women have? They have the same look. Post-wall, late 30s, necklines. They all have the same exact post-wall, I got beaten by defeat, ran the CC ride. Look, you don't see any 9s, 10s, 8s. None of them are on this list. You ever hear if they do, it's usually like the ones that are doing it for clout. Outside of that, you don't see any top tier women saying anything about this because it doesn't bother them. They have the pick of the litter. It's only the ones that are just the most undesired of the groups.
You like to prey on vulnerable women. Because when you go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or Eastern Europe or wherever these places are that are overseas, I'm assuming you mean they're more biddable, that they're less outspoken, they don't demand anything of you.
No, they demand things, but within reason. They're not soft-spoken. They just don't act out in public. They don't act loud. They don't scream. They don't shout down their men. Let's keep it real. You use these buzzwords to explain what it is, and you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
That they're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity.
What do you mean by that? And have spoken. They coming at this lady hard for doing this video.
And the crazy thing about it is they're happy in their country. They have less and they're happy, much happier than Western women. If they could stay in their country and bring you there, they would. And that's what a lot of passport bros are doing. It's a risk. I'll be honest with you. We all take risks, but it's a risk to bring your wife, who's still traditional, to the United States or any Western country, because the women don't know how to leave women alone and will do everything within their power to corrupt them so that she thinks just like them. It's like a cancer. It's like an STD. They will do whatever it takes to corrupt her mind so she thinks just like them, because women just can't leave other women alone. They have to all think the same way. Hive mind mentality.
Think she down in passport bros? They came at her instead. Look at all these Filipinas. Heal, my dear. A queen doesn't break another queen's crown. I'd be happy for them and celebrate. They don't like that this lady made this video about us passport blue book gentlemen. Another comment. Jealousy and bitterness is in her. It's so obvious.
We don't talk enough about how passport bros are just predators.
I'm not a predator if I sleep with women in America, but if I sleep with women outside of America, I'm a predator. Got you. Guess that means you should stop sleeping with people in different states too, right? You live in Florida. Don't sleep with somebody in Chicago. You're a predator. Logic.
So how
I'm gonna try to find the video of the guy that tried to explain it, and it was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think I have two different types of simps. So there's the simp that is just looking for the attention and doesn't have any guidance. That is the simp I'm willing to try to save. And I won't say anything hurtful about those type of guys because I want them to be safe. I want men to be greater. I'm not going to use a certain slogan, but I want to make men great again. And then there's the other ones that are they're all the way in the sunken place, and they just say everything that they want to hear to make them feel better. Those guys are dangerous, and they can go to a special place that's very warm with pitchforks.
How do these foreign women feel about this trend? Well, it looks like they love it, and they are actually welcoming passport pros and aggressively defending them online. It's crazy.
First, it's none of your business. Second, it's their money. It's their life.
And that's why it bothers them, because it's their money, but they want that money. They are the backup plans. And now the backup plans are leaving. Pipe bomb.
It's not foreign women's fault if American men fall for them instead of you. You must understand, like us Filipino, we are naturally sweet and naturally compassionate. Doesn't matter if you are our boyfriend, husband, or lover. If you are just our friend or cousin or whatever, neighbor, we are naturally like that. Okay? And that's what they like about us, because we are just sweet. We're very personable, understanding, caring. It's not because we are submissive. We're not submissive. You ask my husband that, he will tell you I'm not submissive. We are just naturally family-oriented people, that's all. And you can't deny the fact here in the United States, it's not like that anymore.
Dear passport boys, dear passport bros, stop calling yourself passport boys and passport bros. Are you going to the Philippines to look for a Filipina queen or what? So stop calling yourself passport boys and passport bros. Start calling yourself passport kings. That's right. You are a passport kings.
And I've had good relationships in my life, but I have never felt like a king or got true king treatment until I went out of this country.
Facts.
Where you're praised, especially as a black man, and one, I'm from America, and two, I'm black.
For being you, right?
It's like the world is yours whenever you leave this country.
Listen, I've traveled over 12 countries. He's absolutely correct. Case in point, he's in Thailand.
And that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize, that what black men have been going through. They don't really know what it's like to be treated like a man. I mean, if you want to go to the next degree, a king. We have a group of women that like to call themselves queens, but then want to treat the men like court jesters every chance they get. But then again, this is all the same. There's also the same group that calls themselves bad bees and what have yous. Like, you know, I've gone to DR plenty of times, and I've been treated better in a few weeks that I've been there than I ever would have been treated here in the United States. And that's a fact. Plenty of men have gone through that. Plenty of black men have gone through that, and no one can understand why.
I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. And one of the 12 countries that I've been to is Thailand, and what you just saw is absolutely facts.
I think I want to go there one day with my wife. We'll take a trip down there. I've never really been to any Asian country. I mean, I've been to Japan, but that was years ago. I'm thinking maybe I will take a trip down there one day.
Passport boys, we up!
Women of Korea, the passport bros have arrived in Korea, bro. Oh shit. I thought South Korea was safe from passport bros, but they're here. I just saw a TikTok. It's a passport bro. Please be careful if you see an aging white dude who's balding.
American men, most of them are global.
Oh yeah, when I was talking about those simps that can go to a special place, that was definitely one of them. He looks kind of sweet, so I'm pretty sure they got something nice and sweet for him down there.
8s, 9s, 10s. On a global scale, they are the top. If you make more than $30,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the world.
Yep.
Most American men, just on that one metric, are literally more attractive, again, just based on money. So it's not easy, it's normal. This is normal.
Yeah.
Walking around and seeing no fat women, it's only in America where everyone's fat and all the girls have to compete with nobody, and they have access to the top men of the planet. As a man, there is no worse place to be than America.
Problem. Yeah, that's the crazy part when you really think about it. Like, you're kind of like forced to just date whatever is here. And we do have attractive women here, but they're all shooting for the top 10%. So you're left with like the stragglers, the MILFs, the cougars, and then you have the obese women, who now they changed the definition of obesity to fat to BBW. And they all think they're 10s. Now, I would have been fine with it when I was younger. And then rap started making them popular by saying, I like my girlfriend's BBW. And they just lost their minds at that point. Now they think they're all 10s. And it doesn't matter how much cellulite or diabetes they have hooked up to a dialysis machine, they'll still think they're a 10. That's disturbing. That's why all these women are losing their minds over passport bros, because now the world is showing the fact that men can find women in other countries
with passport
that look better.
Bros.
So I was thinking about this. Why do they care? Why do they care that men are going their own way and finding women in foreign countries? Why are they so upset? Why do they call them dusty and useless and then get mad that they're leaving? They don't want them, but they don't want them to leave. And why are they making these videos? To tell us how they don't care. And it finally struck me. The video is not for the passport boys. The videos are for their orbiters, the friend zone men. They want to make sure they don't get this idea in their head that they can go somewhere else, that there are other women available to them if they just leave the country. They need these men to stay in their orbit, to keep validating them. That is what they're terrified, is they will lose the influence they have amongst the few men who still put up with.
My take.
Ding, 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 ding. You got it. That is the biggest fear that they have. That's why Austin Holloman was such a great threat to them. See, when it was just old men, you didn't care because they were old men. You could get the young ones, but now that you have a young one, his early 20s, who found out and said, "Let's get your passport. It's that bad." Then you started panicking. See, women will put you in two different types of categories. They'll put you into the I want you, but I don't want someone else having them. So if you're talking to this girl and you want to ask this girl who wants you, she's going to tell you, "Oh, well, you don't want her. She's dirty, or she doesn't really take showers, or she's not very loyal." She says that because she wants them and she doesn't want the other girl to have you. And then you have the other one that doesn't want you, but doesn't want anyone else having you. And usually that's the backup plan when things fail with the dude who was fast, easy, and just loads of fun. So when you become 300 pounds, you develop 4 credit cards with legs, they want to turn to you. And now you're no longer around. So they are desperately looking for some type of safety net, which will not exist. Which is why I have this show, because I want to encourage as many men as possible to leave them alone. They've been saying, "We don't want you. We don't need you. You're dead to us." Fine. Be dead. Go to another country. That is my advice to men out here. Go to another country. Leave these women alone.
On Passport Bros, as an American who's lived in the Philippines for 2 years, is that most Filipino women who are dating foreigners, they know English very well. They're smart. They're not uneducated. They definitely know what's going to happen and what's going on, and they know the expectations of what a possible marriage might entail. The part where I get a little worried is I've seen a lot of Passport Bros be, first of all, predators as young as 13 years old, and second of all, they seem very, very hurt and just like really jaded towards American women and kind of controlling and just really aggressive. So that would be something to consider as well if you want that type of personality as a partner. And also, when people move to the US, they have a foreign spouse. Sometimes, not always, sometimes that foreign spouse is isolated, doesn't have very good connection. So if anything were to be bad or if they would need any help, I'm just worried that some people might not have the resources to get the appropriate help or support or community they need. But I don't care who you guys marry. If it's a foreigner or not, obviously I'm married to a foreigner myself.
Nobody cares who you're married to. But apparently you care more about what Passport Bros do. See, that's why I say they all follow the same blueprint. They have to. We're just trying to help these girls out. We're just doing our best. I have a voice for that.
I just want to make sure that these girls are taken care of. I don't want them being hurt by some of these Passport Bros. Like 13 years old, that's a minor. Those are predators. And what if she doesn't have any resources to help her out when she's here in the United States, a first world country that pretty much bends over backwards to help women over men with any type of other problems?
Seriously? Seriously. Of course you're serious, because you're a part of the hive. So, anyway. Enough of that stupidity. The honest truth is this. Passport Bros are smartening up. They know not to bring their women here. Women would much rather stay in their own country. It's cheaper to live there. It's more relaxed to be there. Less hustle and bustle. And she's still with her family. See, men can move around and migrate as they please. Women, a little bit more difficult. See, women, even when you're living in the United States, a lot of women, if you are living in 2 different states, the woman's going to pressure you to come to her, not because of her job, Well, because everything that she's familiar with is right here. So she'll pressure you to go move over to there and change your entire life for her. That's what most of them do. Because they have their job and I can't do it. My job is I can't move it as easy as you do. You'll I've heard it when I was younger. You'll hear it. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have heard that. The passport bros are keeping them in their country to keep them away from people like you.
But I think there are just some parts to be cautious about. And then also,
and like I said before, any woman that's pretending to be your friend is not your friend, especially when it involves passport bros. Do you warn your girlfriends about the bad boy that they shack up with? Do you put this much effort into like the stupid things that they do? Or let's just say when they're in a relationship and they want to have a girls' trip. Are you over there to stop them, to keep them from doing the horrible thing? Nope.
just remember a lot of American women have had really bad experiences with men. So when they see like that kind of rough personality going to another country and having women there, they might just be a little upset or triggered because they don't want women to experience things that they have also experienced. So that's my take.
In China, if you're a woman, single, and over 30, you are called 剩女, which means leftover woman in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 攞底橙, 賣剩蔗, and 攝做辣, which means orange at the bottom of the basket, the sugar cane that didn't get sold, and the thing used for filling the gap of the stove. But if you're a man, single, and over 30, you are called 钻石王老五, which means a diamond bachelor in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you're called 筍盤, which means quality real estate.
Sorry to hear that. That sucks to be you. See, I think that should be brought into the United States, honestly. That's just me speaking. That's definitely something that should be in the United States because clearly that's just something that, honestly, needs to wake these women up because they have this mindset where they think that everything should be handed to them. And no, this should be a harsh reality. You're over 40, over 30, yeah. If you're hitting your 40, you should be a leftover woman. Maybe you'll be humble and stop pretending to try to overcompensate for that by adding a ridiculous list of things that you expect from your man. It's really just there to make you feel a little bit better at the fact that you wasted your life. Oh, well. Anyway, that's it for today. It's my little rant. It's good to see you all, guys, and everyone. Man Cave's always open. I'm Black Irish, signing off.